I got cards. I don't know how to use them, but I'll do my best. By the way, it's always hard to follow Regina. I can say so many things about Regina that it is incredible. She's one of the unique people in the world. She handles so much. She's actually went from bachelor's to the 4-year PhD program at University of Florida. In addition to that, she works for a company, and based on what I hear, she's one of the lead sales people in the company already. And eventually she wants to teach. So Miami, FIU, Florida, it's a gem. She's a unique individual that can carry many, many things and can do many, many things at the same time. Very few people can do that. I definitely can't. But I want to start out by reading, and I hate to read, by reading a quote. And this quote comes from Henry R. Fuentes. So the FIU folks know Henry Fuentes. He is a professor and associate chair of the Department of Civil Engineering at FIU, Civil and Environmental Engineering at FIU. Here's what he had to say. He wanted to be here. He's not able to be here. But he says, your competition, and he's addressing us in an email that he sent to Regina. Your competition event is very impressive in both its important objective and the powerful mentoring of our future engineers. And basically that summarizes it in a nutshell. This, as Regina said earlier, is an organization that is actually jointly held by the two Cuban-American engineering societies, the Association of Cuban-American Engineers and the Cuban-American Association of Civil Engineers. And we're here today working together. But at this point, I want to recognize one of the founding members of the Association of Cuban-American Engineers. He's sitting in the back, Gonzalo Sanchez, or Guy Sanchez. Gonzalo had, he's everything to the Association of Cuban-American Engineers. He was one of the founding fathers, as I said, of the Association of Cuban Engineers. We changed the name 2 years ago to be more comprehensive because a lot of us are Cuban-Americans. And, we have our children and so on and so forth that are also Cuban-Americans or American Cubans. And we actually toyed with the name and actually came up with the Association of Cuban-American Engineers. He, in 2006, actually began to mold this over, and the concept of how can we get the young people involved and thinking about the future in Cuba. Well, since we happen to be two engineering organizations, the best way to do that is through engineering and high-level science. And the next thing is, how do we convey it to the people? So, we got together with the Civil Engineering Association, and from there, we began the competitions in 2010. So this is the 8th annual competition, and it has grown impressively, especially this year. And it is because of people like Victor Pujals, and I don't want to leave anybody out, Dr. Miguel Medina, Dr. Armando Perez, Dr. Helena Solo Gabriel, and some of the ways that we have actually moved, that,
I just want to clarify one thing about Gonzalo.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzalo Sanchez was the one that gave birth to the idea of bringing together the talents of Cuban-American engineers in exile to provide ideas on how to improve the infrastructure of Cuba when Cuba becomes free and democratic country. So
Correct.
we got to thank Gonzalo.
Yeah, and I thought I kind of summarized that, but I'm glad that you actually were more explicit. So basically, again, the Gonzalo Sanchez was actually the architect that actually came up with the concept of getting the engineers, the young engineers involved in working in an area or studying an area that is very, very much needed because it's a decayed Cuba infrastructure. So you look at it in every which way: transportation, environmental, agriculture. There's a tremendous amount of need. and the need for the future, especially, and the way that I see this is the end result is the Cuban people. The end result is what's going to improve the life of the Cuban people that has suffered through 56 years of a very brutal dictatorship. And that's the last political thing that I will say. But again, the one thing that basically is very impressive is how this has grown. And I want to go through the mission, because the mission also embodies pretty much what Gonzalo had put forth. And let me not move away from this. The mission of the Cuba Infrastructure Committee is to promote a high level of engineering and science as they may apply to the future improvement of the island, and to increase public awareness and interest in Cuba's infrastructure needs. And since we're talking about public awareness and increased public awareness, I want to recognize Blanca Silva, who's here today. And the reason why I want to do that is because we toyed for many, many years as we prepared for how are we going to publicize this. And we thought about bringing in the media and having the cocktail for the media, so on and so forth. And the media is hard to get to anywhere. So pretty much, Blanca had a lot of experience with the media, and she began to publicize that. And last year we had some articles that appear in the Nuevo Herald. This year I was also interviewed last year. This year Jerry and I were interviewed by Ninoska Perez of AM 710. I was also interviewed by Maricel Hernandez, and she's with 1210. Radio is going to be broadcast. It was pre-recorded. It will be broadcasted today. And the main reason for that is to publicize this so that people know what action, what activities we are taking to look forward to the improvement of the infrastructure in Cuba. So it's very, very important. And going back to the very beginning, I mean, for many years, we only had universities from the state of Florida. As a matter of fact, if you look back to last year, we had 5 teams competing for the prizes. They were all from the state of Florida. We had, there's a lot of, by the way, we meet monthly, and we're going to have a reprieve. We're not going to meet in March. So we're going to meet in April. So we'll meet the second Monday in April and continue working for the next year's cycle. So every year we basically go back and say, what did we learn from this past year? We're going to do the same thing this year. We have a lot of people that really are into it, that really help us a lot. So one of the things that we did this year, we went after the ABETS organization. ABETS is the accrediting organization for engineering. And Dr. Miguel Medina has some contacts with Duke and with ABETS, since he was a professor at Duke. Victor Pujals gave us a list of ABETS deans. Regina was able to actually talk to the people in ABETS, and there was an article that was published in ABETS. And I bet you some of you that are here today are because of what was published in ABETS. So that actually brought 33 people, 33 teams that were interested in participating in this competition. From the 33 teams, 15 actually submitted projects. So we basically, again, we learned a lot because we never have had that. So what do? We can only bring 6 finalists. So we actually had the judges judge the 15 projects that were submitted, the written part of the presentation on the 15 projects that were submitted. As a result of that, we have 6 finalists, and the 6 finalists are here today. Finalists from the University of Florida, Florida Institute of Technology, FIT, which is the first time ever that we have a team from FIT, so thank you very much, we welcome you. Florida has always been involved in the competition. We've had multiple teams in the past also. We also have a team from FIU. Again, FIU have been involved. FIU is the other local university, Florida International University in Miami. They have also been involved in the past. And we have a team from the University of Alabama, properly named Team Saban. What can I say? As a Gator, I mean, what can I say? And we also have a team from the University of Missouri at Kansas City. So again, we are global. This is now a global participation. For many, many years, we only had Cuban-Americans or Latin Americans participating. Well, the team that won last year from the University of Florida, I had a girl from Bangladesh, had a girl from India, and had a man from Jacksonville. So that basically tells you how global this is, how we have become a global organization. Jerry again. Jerry's my alter ego, by the way.
Debbie is here. She's been at the
Okay.
She's the winner from.
She's one of the members that won last year from the University of Florida. So basically, the boundaries, the Florida boundaries have been broken, and we hope that we break them forever. I will ask for you guys, or each of your teams, especially the ones outside the state of Florida, to publicize this in your universities, make sure people know, because we're going to do this again. Okay, so this is, and by the way, there's an opportunity at the end of the presentation. We're going to have Elena Solo Gabriel, Dr. Elena Solo Gabriel, who is Associate Dean of Engineering at the University of Miami, talk to you about the ASCE, which is the Association for Study for the Cuban Economy, and they have their presentations in June. A lot of the folks that have presented with us also have presented with them. So she's going to expand on that a little bit more. And before I leave, by the way, I want to make sure that you know that all of you are winners. All of the people that are here today, all of the teams that are here today are winners. You actually went through a very, very, very hard, and the other thing that I don't want to forget, I know how hard it is to do what you're doing. This is extracurricular activity. The schools don't give you credit. So you're doing this because you want to get better and you want to be better. So you have accomplished that. This is very hard to do. I went through school and I would have never done it. But so I know how hard, so every one of you are winners. So again, thank you for what you do. Thank you for being here today, and best of luck to all of you. I also want to recognize Wayne Cruz, the gentleman there with the computers and all. I mean, he's a videographer, has been doing this for a number of years, does an excellent job. This is, as Regina said, it's been broadcast on YouTube. So again, I don't want to take any more time because we got to be out of here. Thank you very much, and any questions, see me.